Several seconds later, he came to his sense and apologized.
I'm sorry, Alice.
His quick apology came as somewhat of a surprise. But his next words again had me knitting my brows.
I have my own reasons. Try not to take it personally.
How can I not? As we stood there arguing, I lost track of Luke. I released a small sigh and said to Joker, "Why did you stop me?" I wasn't going to let him get away with trying to feign ignorance. So I looked him straight in the eyes. If I had kept walking, I would have run into Luke. Instead, you dragged me into the shadows.
Yeah, you're right.
Is there some reason you don't want me to see Luke? When I sought an explanation, Joker smiled lightly and nodded.
The Hatter seems to be plotting something. I don't want to take the chance of letting you get close to him before I know what he's planning. It could be dangerous.
Dangerous?
I mean, there's a good chance he's going to take away all of my fun.
I had mixed feelings and fell silent for a moment. I almost started to think you were worried about me. For a moment there, I started to think you might not be all that bad. I feel cheated for having wasted those precious seconds.
Don't be like that, Alice.
Joker looked like he was having so much fun as he laughed.
Regardless of what it looks like, in my own way, I am worried about you. Just watching all the different expressions play across your face is going to keep me from being bored and well entertained. On the other hand, if you were to go away, it wouldn't be half as fun.
Joker, do you know that you have a tendency to sound awfully self-centered? My sarcasm was mixed with a sigh, but Joker didn't seem to be bothered by it. He continued to watch me with a grin.
Incidentally, Alice, what do you plan to do now? Are you going to retrace your steps and follow the Hatter?
Well, thanks to you, Luke is long gone. My scathing retort seemed to have no effect on Joker, who kept on grinning. Besides, it's not like I feel the need to see him enough to run after him at the moment. Probably because, if my memory served me correct, Luke and I had just met. I had no idea if the Hatter was somebody worthy of trust. Joker, on the other hand, seemed to think that the Hatter was someone not to be trusted. For now, I think I'll go into town. I made up my mind and raised my head. If even one person knows of Amelie, it might help me with my lost memory. Yes, if only I could encounter someone who called me Amelie instead of Alice. I could be confident in the fact that I was Amelie.
I see. Very well. I'll go with you.
Why?
I'm interested in you, Alice. Does there need to be any other reason?
I couldn't describe how I felt at that moment, but I couldn't hide my inner turmoil. Are you going to stand in my way like you did just now?
If you're averse to having me stand in your way, I'll try not to. Of course, I reserve the right to stand by and watch.
I smiled wryly and shook my head. I appreciate your concern, but I'm more averse to being watched covertly. I'd rather you just stood your ground.
All right.
Joker laughed and nodded. His smile was surprisingly attractive. I do have one small favor to ask.
Favor? I suppose if you insist, Alice. I'll do my best to honor it.
See, that's just it. Everyone seems to be convinced without a doubt that I'm Alice. At least until I regain my memory and remember that I really am Alice. To be honest, I couldn't imagine a day like that ever coming. In any case, can I ask that you call me Amelie until I'm ready for you to call me Alice? All this time you've been calling me Alice, but it just doesn't feel right, because I consider myself Amelie.
I see.
Joker looked thoughtful for a moment as he considered my request.
I understand what you're trying to say. It can't be comfortable being called the name you don't recognize as your own. I have some reservations regarding your request, but I'm used to committing crimes. I suppose one more offense won't make any difference.
Huh? His voice drifted off in a whisper, and I couldn't catch the last part. Joker renewed his focus on me and nonchalantly called me.
Amelie, for starters, I'll guide you to the closest town from here.
Thank you, Joker. I smiled and voiced my appreciation. While I had decided to go into town, I obviously had forgotten how to get there on my own. That's why I appreciated his generous offer. Full of appreciation, I tagged along behind Joker as he started to walk. We reached an adorable town that had a rustic air about it. Unfortunately, it didn't conjure up any memories. It felt like my first visit. As I walked behind Joker, suddenly...
Huh? Joker, what are you doing?
Huh? Is she who I think she is?
A very cheerful voice rang through the streets.
Where did you go, Amelie? It's time for the next preview? I am pretty occupied at the moment, but I suppose I have no choice if it's my duty. I need to read what's written on this sheet of paper, right? A mysterious gentleman approaches Amelie. He claims to know the road home that Amelie is searching for. Next episode, Approaching Danger. She will face danger. I must go now. I have to hurry and find Amelie.